And I'd like to welcome you all to Module 6, where we cover all about Zoom, what you can do when you're in a Zoom meeting, and how to add a virtual background, like you see on my background and many of yours as well, when your video is on. Thank you so much for attending, and I hope you enjoyed the session. The WildTech Ducey Senior iPad program, its owners and presenters offer technical assistance, virtual health, well-being information designed for educational purposes only. You should not rely on the information, any apps or topics made by WildTech, including but not limited to mobile device applications and any social media pages maintained by WildTech, its owners or presenters as a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, treatment, or legal advice. Again, can't see me, hear me, see the screen, let me know. Let's make sure TVs and cell phones are silenced to give ourselves the most immersive experience. And I always recommend you have some notes next to you that you can take advantage of. Thank you. If you need any general assistance with your iPad, you can email us, helpdesk@wildtech.org, or you can call us at the number that you see listed on the screen. Monday through Wednesday and Friday from 11 to 2. Any iPad assistance, please give us a call. We'd love to help out as best we can. If we don't answer, or if it's outside of those hours, please leave us a voicemail and we'll get back to you at our earliest convenience. Everyone in Zoom, if you, it's good to just to make sure that your name is showing in Zoom, so that way you can be acknowledged, and of course keep the safety of the other participants in mind. So we have someone with just a first name. We also have someone by the name of I. So I want everyone in Zoom to hit participants. Again, if your toolbar is at the top, you can hit participants right here. If your toolbar is at the bottom of the screen, you can tap on participants. Same idea. So when you hit participants, if it doesn't say your first and last name, me, then make sure you tap on whatever is there. So in this screenshot, I tapped on, my name was already there, but once you tap on that section, you'll see it says rename. When you hit rename, make sure to delete whatever is there, because again, I or iPad or Zoom user, etc., that is not a part of your name. So make sure you delete that. Then you type in your first and last name, okay? And first and last name. So again, everyone hit participants. If it doesn't say your first and last name, make sure you change it so that way you can be acknowledged for this session today, okay? Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you. And again, just make sure once in a while you check participants to make sure your name is showing. To keep our meetings organized and avoid talking over each other, which we do very, very well, I just ask that you use the raise hand feature. You can hit more at the top right of Zoom and then hit raise hand, or if your toolbar is at the bottom of the screen, you can hit reactions and then tap on raise hand. Can everyone in Zoom please raise their hand? Again, if you're here present, wishing everyone a wonderful holiday weekend, happy Friday, a great day today, great weather, peaceful and relaxing weekend, etc. Again, if you're just happy to be here, I'm certainly happy myself that we get to have our sessions together. So again, make sure you utilize the raise hand feature if you ever have a question, comment, concern, etc. Okay? Thank you all so much. I appreciate that. You all can hit lower at the bottom to lower your hand. Thank you. And if you want to communicate non-verbally, the chat is a great way to share a greeting, ask a question, send your congrats, anything you like to share. If your toolbar is at the top, you hit more, just like before, but you're going to hit on chat, and then the meeting chat window will come up. Okay. If your toolbar is at the bottom of the screen, you're going to tap on chat itself. Really easy. And again, same idea. You hit where it says tap here to chat, and then you type in your message. So I'm going to write, hello, today is National Beach Day, as said in our email and our session today. So I'm going to look for a bunch of beach emojis. So there you go. There you go. Love it. Again, you can share anything in the chat that you like, whether that be just a hello or have a great weekend. Anything you like to share, you can do so by putting it into the chat. Yeah, have a great holiday weekend. Again, our sessions will resume on Tuesday. I hope you enjoy your holiday weekend. If you want to add a photo or send a photo in the chat, you can hit the plus sign next to tap here to chat, and then you can hit photo and add any photo from your Photos app. So this was from today. Someone share this in the chat today in our advanced session. And Let me see this one someone shared a while ago. So again, you can share images in the chat as well if you would like. If you want to save an image that someone shared into your Photos app, you can hold the image and then you can hit save image and save that image to your Photos app, okay? So if everyone can share a message in the chat, I'd really appreciate that. If you could share what were your favorite Zoom sessions this week and why, I'd love if you could all share that in the chat as well. Thank you for those that did in the morning. If you'd like to again, it's much appreciated. But I enjoyed all of our sessions this week because we had our mid-year app review on Monday, our modules this week, especially our goodbye to Margaret was quite interesting. We had our leadership council session about food labels. That was interesting. Yesterday we learned about gardening as well. So and we had our advanced session today, semi brand new on different apps, and our trip to Poland today as well. Okay. Yes. So in the chat, please showcase or share what sessions that you enjoyed the most this week. I love to shout them out throughout the session today. Again, you can share a picture by hitting the plus sign next to tap here to chat. I'll be talking about that in just a moment as well. So today we'll be learning again what you can do when you're in a Zoom meeting and also how to add a virtual background when you are on Zoom. So just some things about Zoom. Do you need an account to use Zoom strictly? And the answer is no. So you don't necessarily need to have a Zoom account if you're just joining as a participant. However, if the host has made it so where you need a profile, AKA a Zoom account, and you don't have one, you won't be able to access that meeting. So all in all, I think it's just a great idea that everyone has a Zoom account, just like everyone has an Apple ID on their iPads. I think everyone should have a Zoom account as well, especially since you join our sessions throughout the week, you know? And an account is only required if you need to create your own meetings and send invitations. So yes, if you want to host your own meetings or adjust different settings that you would not be able to do if you didn't have an account, I highly recommend that you all create a Zoom account. We have that session on our YouTube channel. You can also hit sign up when you get into the Zoom app if you're not in a meeting and sign up for that Zoom account using your Apple ID, okay? There are many ways to join a Zoom meeting from in regards to the software, like an email or a text message from the browser. There are many different ways. Usually you all join our sessions from our daily email. So that's how most of you should be joining our sessions, since it's how you learn what we are covering for the week as well. But there are many different ways to join a session, and there are many different devices like a computer, the iPads that we all have, a phone, a landline, or even a mobile phone that you can do that as well, or another device. So there are many different ways to join the sessions. Join a Zoom session and different devices you can as well. And Zoom is where we have our live interactive presentations and discussions. These meetings have proven to be a great way to have engaging conversations and get some face time with your fellow members. For these meetings to be successful, there are a few things that you should know. So when you're in a Zoom meeting, again, your toolbar can be at the top or at the bottom of the screen. It just depends on how updated your Zoom is. So first we're going to go back and forth with each of the options and see how similar they are. So, excuse me. So first up is gallery view. So no one is sharing their screen, I'll stop sharing my screen now. Just give me a moment. You'll see that gallery view option. Again, if your toolbar is on the top, you'll see it on the left-hand side, these 9 dots. Or if your toolbar is at the top, your 9 dots will be on the top right-hand side of the screen, okay? So either way, when no one is sharing their screen, you can access the gallery view. If you tap on the 9 dots, again, if your toolbar is at the top, it will switch automatically. If your toolbar is at the bottom, those 9 dots at the top right, you have to tap on it and then hit gallery view. Okay, so either way, when you hit the 9 dots, you can make it a gallery view where you can see, let's see on my end, I can see 20 participants. And if I swipe up, I can see more as well. So it's very convenient. Swipe up, it depends on your device. You may need to swipe left to right, but that is the gallery view. by hitting those 9 dots, either at the top right-hand side, if your toolbar is at the bottom, or on the left-hand side, if your toolbar is at the top, okay? But yes, you see my toolbar is at the bottom, my 9 dots are at the top right, okay? Again, I can't see gallery view because again, I'm sharing my screen on my other device. So keep that in mind. If no one's sharing their screen, you can see more participants at one time, okay? The next option over that you can do in Zoom, again, is the video or the mute option, sorry. So if your toolbar is at the top, you'll see we're in that join audio section. Again, if you're not connected to your audio, everyone in today's Zoom is connected to their audio. But if you were not, if you didn't tap that Wi-Fi cellular data option when you all come on, you would see this. So make sure you tap on it to then get connected to your audio. But that's where your mute and unmute option is. If your toolbar is at the bottom of the screen, you see it's right here, mute. If I want to mute myself, I hit. If I wanted to unmute myself, which I just did, I hit unmute. So I can mute and unmute with this option here. So again, keep that in mind. If your toolbar is at the top or bottom, it's similar, okay? The next option over is video. Okay, sorry about that. Just trying to go back between my slides and Zoom. Again, the next option over is the video. So you can start your video or stop your video by utilizing that feature. So again, if your toolbar is at the top, is the next option over, start video or stop video. If your toolbar is at the bottom of the screen, it will say start video, stop video. Again, you can switch between if you want your video on or not. Keep in mind, if you're muted or unmuted, you don't want to share any, really personal info, to others. Just keep that in mind, especially if you're on the phone or if you're speaking with someone, if you're muted or not. And then the video option, again, just keep in mind, if you're on the video, you may be able to be seen. So just keep that in mind. The next option over is the share content option. So that's what I'm doing right now to share my screen. Again, at the top, when you host your own meetings or if you're given co-host rights in a meeting, you can then share your screen by hitting share content. You'll hit screen and then start broadcast. Of course, when you hit share content, there are some other options, but we mainly use the screen option to share your screen, okay? But that's what I'm doing right now. Again, because of that, again, you can see what's on my screen. You can see my presentation, my app, my video, whatever is on my screen, you all can see as well. If your toolbar is at the bottom, you see it says stop share. That's where the share content button would be. So again, if I want to share my screen on my device when you're on your iPad, whether the start share is at the top or the bottom, I'm going to hit share content, or if your toolbar is at the bottom, it says share, then I hit screen, and then I hit start broadcast, and then I let it count down. And once you let it count down, look at that. I just tap on the left or right-hand side, and I get back to my Zoom app, okay? So that's how you share your screen in Zoom. The next option over, again, this is what we cover in our 101 trainings. Give me a moment. Sometimes the screen share does stop for a second, and that's okay. Just go through the same steps and I can share again. So you got to keep that in mind. So the next option over is participants. You can see who's participating in the call. Okay, so if your toolbar is at the top, participants is right here. If your toolbar is at the bottom of the screen, participants is right next to the video option, but still here at the bottom, it's in this toolbar. So participants, you can see who is participating in the call. The first person is always you. That's why it says me. The second person is always the host. That's why it says host. And then it will be everybody else in the call. So in this instance, in this screenshot, again, I was the host and it was myself. So I have me and host in the same option, but you all get the idea. The first person is always you. That's why it says me. The second person is always the host. That's why it says host. You'll see some co-hosts if there are any. Like you should see mine, WildTech is my co-host, my other device, and then everyone else is in alphabetical order, okay? So just keep that in mind. As long as it says your first and last name, me, then you're good to go with being acknowledged if you have a question. Again, if it says iPad or Zoom user, we do not know who that person is. So you must have your name in Zoom to attend our sessions, okay? So that is the participants list. You can also see next to each person's name who's muted, who's unmuted, who's on the camera, off the camera. If you say hello to someone, just keep in mind if they don't respond, just check to see if they're muted or not, or if they're on video, or even if they're in the actual meeting. So if you hit participants, you should see that everyone is muted besides myself, and some folks are on the camera, some are not, and you can see that again in the participants list. The more button, it's a little different between the two. If your toolbar is at the top, you can hit more and get access to many different features. Let me go back to this section right here. And more, if your toolbar is at the top, you'll see the chat, you'll see the raise hand that we talked about earlier today, but also some other features as well. If you're the host of your own meetings, someone asked me this question, you can record your session, and once you, if you're the host of your own meetings, you can record it yourself. Once you stop the recording, Zoom will send you an email with the link to that video. So I think that's also a very interesting option. I don't see it here because I wasn't the host of this particular meeting, but you'll see it will say record on this section right here, okay? But the more option in if your toolbar is at the bottom, it has a little bit of lesser features, but again, it has backgrounds and effects. For either way, you're gonna wanna if you wanna change your background in a Zoom meeting, you have to hit more, again, either whether your toolbar is at the top or the bottom, and then you can hit backgrounds and effects. On my instance, my record options here at the bottom right here, I would hit record, then I would hit that again when I wanna stop the recording, and then Zoom will send me an email with that link to that recording. So I think that's very convenient. But if you want to raise your hand, if your toolbar is at the bottom, you hit reactions. When you hit more, if your toolbar is at the top, you'll see other reactions as well, right? I don't have it on my slide directly, but when you hit more, it will, there's more to it nowadays than when the screenshot was taken, but you'll see some different reactions that you can make as well. They don't last, last forever like the hand does unless you lower your hand. But if you do the reactions, you can send a thumbs up or even a heart or anything. If you hit this three dots right here next to reactions, you can send any emoji as a reaction in Zoom. So they last for about 15, 20 seconds. If you look in participants, you'll see I sent a yellow heart as a reaction. One cool thing is when your video is on, so let me turn the video on my other iPad, on my iPad, sorry, I can hit reactions and look, it says send with effect. So if I hit the rocket ship, you see on my other video right here, I have some different rocket ship emojis that come up. Let me do that again with another reaction. Again, let me hit a heart. And on my other end, look at on my other iPad, look at that, or other device, I have the hearts that come up. Isn't that cool? So you can send reactions in that manner as well. And if you want to send a chat, you simply just hit chat. So again, it's the same things that we've gone on over earlier in the session today. In the chat, you can hit the plus sign right here next to tap here to chats to add a photo. Again, if you don't have any photos in your iPad, you won't be able to send a photo. So again, just keep joining our sessions. You'll learn how to save a photo, add a photo. Even today, you'll learn how to save a photo from Google that you can use just as a photo or as your background, which we'll be talking about today. Again, if your toolbar is at the top, you must hit more, and then you'll see some different reactions that come up. Again, if I go back to this slide, if I hit more at the top, below raise hand, you'll see some different reactions that you can share, and it'll show up in participants, okay? I hope that helped out. And again, we went over the hand, we went over the chat. We also went over the gallery view option, the mute option, the video option, the share content option, participants, the raise hand, and the chat, okay? So again, that's what you can do when you're in a Zoom meeting. Just really quick, because we started a little earlier. If you have a Zoom account, when you are not in a meeting, or even if you are, I can hit the arrow at the top left to go back to my home page on my Zoom app, I can then I usually utilize these three options right here on the left, three of these options. So home, I can start a meeting, I can join a meeting, etc. That's what I can do. In this section, meetings, you can look up your own personal meeting ID, edit your passcode for your meetings, start your meetings, send invitations, etc. And then this more option right here on the left, these three dots. This is very important because of the Zoom changes that have occurred these past few weeks. When you hit more, make sure it says your first and last name, right? It says Alexander right here. I tap on it and it says display name. So make sure your display name says your first and last name. If you have to continuously change your name in Zoom, that's because when you change it during the meeting, it doesn't stay. You have to, when you have an account, you have to adjust it here in the display name by hitting more, whatever name is there at the top, and then hit display name. Then you can adjust your name, display name, etc. So every time I join a meeting from my iPad, it displays as my first, last name, Wildtech, okay? If you do not have a Zoom account, again, I highly recommend that you create one. But when you are in the Zoom app, if you want to change your name, you can hit join meeting and then change your name in the middle. It will probably say iPad or etc. That's where you can also adjust it. But I just highly recommend that you create a Zoom account to be able to set your name and adjust like different backgrounds before, or you can change the skin tone of your emojis here in the different meeting settings, etc. So it's a very useful feature and thing to have a Zoom account while utilizing Zoom, okay? So today we went over what you can do in a Zoom meeting. We went over a little bit about Zoom and what you can do in the Zoom app when you have a Zoom account and how to sign up for one as well. Any questions about Zoom, what you can do in a meeting? Any questions? Please raise your hand. Any questions about Zoom, what you can do in a meeting, anything about a Zoom account, before we move on to our virtual background section, okay? Hi, Brenda, how's it going?
Okay, going great. Alex, my question is, why does the toolbar keep going up and down? Sometimes it's up the top and then the next time it's down the bottom and then go back up. So why does it keep moving?
That's a great question, Brenda. I'm still trying to figure that out myself. No. It's Zoom, you know, all apps update, right? So there are gonna be changes regardless. You know, some apps, they are gonna look pretty similar throughout its existence, but for apps that are, you know, especially most commonly used by Zoom, they're always gonna be making improvements or testing some things out. So yes, sometimes my toolbar is at the bottom. At one point it went back to the top and now it's at the bottom. So either way, I mean, it's because when you know one toolbar, like the different features, the other ones, it can be easier to access in a way. But all in all, is just tapping on the screen, seeing what options that you have, and just, you know, going from there. I wish again that it, you know, in some kind of way it would stay the same, but you know, life changes in a way, right? So you just gotta kind of roll with the punches.
Yeah. Mine has been at the bottom and it hasn't moved, but several people have said that, excuse me, several people have said that their toolbar has gone back up the top, then it'll go back to the bottom. So, but I've gotten used to it being at the bottom. I mean, it was a little, you know, I had to work with it to make sure I understood it, but
of course.
Yeah.
Okay. Just like with you know, everything in life. Sometimes things change, but you gotta, you know how to adapt, which you certainly have done. Thank you so much, Brenda.
Thanks, Alex.
Thank you. Hi, Miss Wilda. You had a question about Zoom today?
Yeah. How do you get your presentation on the screen? You know, if you have a prepared presentation, how do you get it up there like that?
It's the same. It's. I think you may be overthinking a little bit, Miss Wilda. Again, whenever you share your screen on, you know, whatever device, it may change a little bit depending. But on the iPad, again, you're just sharing your screen. Again, I use whatever app. There are many different kind of apps that you can utilize.
It's in email.
To do so but again, if it's in an email, just go to the email and open the presentation up again. Whenever you
Oh,
show your screen, whatever is on your screen will be shown to the other
okay,
participants in
I
Zoom.
understand. So whatever I do is you're gonna see it.
Yeah,
I just need to
that's
go
what
to
we do during
email
our
and
sessions,
go
right?
to it,
Whenever, yeah, whatever
pull
you
it on
see
up,
on
and
my
it'll
screen,
show. Okay,
yeah,
great. That's what I didn't understand. Thank you.
no problem. It's well to have a great rest of your day. Any other questions about Zoom? Any other questions? Again, that's why it's really important to make sure your Zoom is always updated. Your app is always updated, and you can do that in the App Store, etc. We have a whole App Store session that we did. So make sure you check that out on our YouTube channel as well. Okay. All right, one moment. Again, creating a Zoom account, I highly recommend that you check out our session on our YouTube channel. We have how to create a Zoom account. We did that about 2 weeks ago, but there's also another video on that as well. So I would check that out. But after this meeting, when you're in Zoom, it will say 3 things: join meeting, sign up, sign in. So make sure if you want to make a Zoom account, you hit sign up, you follow the prompts, use your Apple ID to create the account, and then make sure your display name is your first and last name using the instructions for today. So check out that video on our channel, that you can use the Zoom app to sign up for your Zoom account. Hi, Denise, you had a question about Zoom for us?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I always, sometimes my bar goes up at the top, but I like the bottom because it's easier, to me. And when it's up the top, I'll be like, oh man. So what I do, I go in there when I turn the Zoom back on, I'll close it out. Then I go turn the Zoom back on, and then I sign in. And when I sign in and put my name and I tap it, and put the ID code, then it'll come at the bottom.
Oh, okay. Well,
So it
thank you.
won't be at the top.
Yeah, I
didn't.
I'm not. I didn't know it worked like that anyway. I'm not 100% sure, Denise. But whatever. I think whatever, whether it's at the top or the bottom. I know you may say it's like easier, but just try to go with what's easy. It sounds like I would never ever recommend typing in the numbers, etc. To go to the. Always recommend joining from the email, just so that way it's a little easier to access. So I would, but it's whatever that works best for you.
But the reason why I like the bottom way, because when I'm on it, when I want to see everybody, all I gotta do is slide my hand across, and there's everybody. When I want to see the program, slide it back over, there's the program. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, it works. I mean, in the same idea, regardless if it's at the top or the bottom. So, I mean, whatever works best for you, Denise, is, what works best, okay?
Right. Okay. Have a good weekend.
Thank you so much, Denise. Have a great rest of your day.
To everybody.
All right. So, if there are no other questions, again, thank you all so much for lowering your hands and muting yourselves. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. We're going to move on to our backgrounds section before we end for today. The Zoom background feature allows you to display an image as your background during a Zoom meeting. This is extremely helpful in cases where your room is just a mess, or if you're having privacy concerns, etc. So those are definitely valid. But for me, I utilize the background just to have fun. You can have any picture. You can put yourself in the other part of the world. Right now, I'm on a beach with the American flag behind it. So you can have a lot of fun with changing and adding different backgrounds when you want to switch it. So this is what we're going to cover in our last section of today's presentation. So first up, your video must be on. If your video is not on, you will not, no one, including yourself, will be able to see that background when you're in the Zoom. So your video must be on. We learned how to stop our video, okay? All right. So again, what we're going to do is we're going to go to Safari to download or search and download an image, okay? Safari is an internet browser, comes on all Apple devices. That's how we search for different things on the internet, especially as we discovered today. There's so many different things that you can do online. So again, I'm gonna go to my Safari app, this compass looking icon. That's how you access different websites and information. At the top in the middle, that is the address bar or search bar. You can search something in there or type in a name. If you want to go to google.com or yahoo.com, etc., go to a website, you can certainly type that in, or you can just search for anything that you want to search for. So regardless, if you're in another tab with the website, you can tap on it and adjust it, or if you're at the address bar, you can tap and then type in what you want to search. So today is National Beach Day, but Monday's also Labor Day. So let's do two today. So let me do what kind of beach? I don't know, maybe, let's see, sandy and sea, shell, beach, background. Again, your spelling doesn't have to be perfect. I realize I spelled sandy wrong, but it's okay. It recognizes that. So sandy and seashell beach background, there you go. On the top left-hand corner, you see all the different options for the Google search results, right? So we're gonna hit images and see all the different images that we have access to. So look at that, it's all about picking which one that you like when you find it, okay? And just seeing which options that you like. There are so many ones. You can add as many different backgrounds as you'd like. It's really all up to you. Let's see. I like this picture right here. It's quite nice. Again, just looking at the image quality, just literally looking at it, right? Does it look nice? Yeah, this one looks nice. Some of them are going to be a little more fuzzy or not as clear. So you just have to look to see what you like. And once you tap on the image that you like, you see it expanded on the right-hand side, right? So if I tap on the image, it expanded here on the right-hand side. And what you're going to do is if you want to save that image or any image really on your iPad, if you're on Safari, if you're in different apps, you can potentially just hold the image until you see this drop down appear, hold it with your finger, and then you can hit save to photos to add that photo to your Photos app. We'll do that with another one. So let me go back to the search bar. Let me type in Labor Day weekend. I can put background, you don't have to if you want, I'll just put that there. I hit images again. And look at that, different Labor Day weekends, right? That I can utilize. So let's see, I like this one. Have a happy and safe Labor Day weekend. I hold the image with my finger and then I can hit save image, right? So I just save those two images and that way you can literally search for any kind of image, any information, just with the internet. How amazing is that, right? So the next step is optional. You can go to your Photos app, which is this multicolored icon right here at the bottom of my screen. That is the Photos app. I can scroll through my different photos. So like my recent photos, there you go. They're in my 2 most recent photos, okay? So you can do that if you'd like. Again, I didn't necessarily need to check myself. I knew it was in photos because I hit save to photos. Once you do that, you go back to Zoom. Again, this is when you're in a meeting. You can do this when you're outside of a meeting or not in a meeting if you have a Zoom account. But I'm going to hit more, again, whether your toolbars at the top or the bottom. You hit more, and then you tap on backgrounds and effects. So when I hit backgrounds and effects, you see I have my old background up right here. Again, I can adjust it as much as I would like. So these are all the backgrounds that I've added with you all together for Module 6 throughout the years. And it's a lot of fun just to showcase different pictures. Like this is a Father's Day one, a Happy Friday one. This is 2 weeks ago was Roller Coaster Day. You know, it was Football Day the other time, etc. So it's really quite a lot of fun. If you want to add a new background, all you have to do is hit the plus button above backgrounds. You see that? And then if this is your first time, make sure you hit allow access to all photos. And then you select the picture that you want to add as a background. So first up is this beach background. There you go. Love it. And if I want to add another one, I just hit the plus sign again. And let me add this Labor Day one and let me hit done. There you go. So now I have this virtual background. Again, it's a lot of fun. Once you are done adding them, again, I highly recommend I have a green screen turned off. I highly recommend that you turn that off so you can, you see how clear it is, right? When you versus the background, So once you're done, you hit the 2 arrows at the top left-hand side. And now you're back in Zoom. As long as your video is on, let me turn on my video. Again, at the bottom right, when someone is sharing their screen, I'm sharing my screen right now, and you all see my screen. You all should see either myself, like a picture, or this icon. Again, you can hit the plus sign to see more participants. So look, I'm right here on my iPad. I have my virtual background right here as well. So 3 steps that we did. We went to Safari to download an image, right? We also downloaded that image or saved it to our Photos app by holding it with our finger and then saving it to our Photos app. Then we went back to Zoom and added it as a background by hitting more and then background and effects and going from there. Okay, so Safari, Photos is optional, then go back to Zoom. So just trying to simplify it, as many things as that you do to make things easier, right? Just think of it as, quick, easy steps. Safari, Photos, which is optional, then Zoom to add a virtual background, okay? If you know how to add a background already, I would love to see, to switch it up a little bit, love to see any new backgrounds, etc. If you like, again, if you've never added a background before, please raise your hand if you would like assistance with that today as well. So, or any other Zoom questions that you may have. So Zoom questions, if you like assistance with adding a background, please raise your hand in Zoom, but I can't wait to shout those new ones out today. So just right now, love your Labor Day one, Miss Brenda. Thank you, Miss Wilda. Thanks so much for sharing. Any new backgrounds? Anyone would like assistance with adding a background? I see a dog on a surfboard. I love that one. That one's so cool. Thank you all so much for that. Hi, Louise. You had a question or a comment about Zoom?
I have used the background before. I have changed my background.
Yeah, make sure you start your video, Miss Louise. You have your video off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but thanks so much for sharing. I really appreciate that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, make sure you, there you go. Yep, I saw I love your flag. It's so cool.
Yeah, that was August the 6th. It was our independence in July.
Love it. Try to, see if you can switch it to maybe something else, okay?
Yes. Thank you.
All right, no problem. Miss Brenda, did you want assistance with adding a virtual background to your iPad? Miss Bundy, did you want assistance with adding a background, or you had a Zoom question?
Yes, well, I had an emergency today, so I will just go on into the library and look. Thank you so much, though.
No problem, Ms. Brenda. I hope everything works out. Hi, again, thank you for lowering your hand and muting yourself. Thank you. Hi, Greer. Hope you're well. You had a question or anything for today?
Yes, Alex. I had changed my background. And I had put my cousin on there, who's 104, and we had a family reunion. And I had last time I was on, it's been a while, but I told Yvonne that I was going to put my cousin's picture on there because we took it when we had my family reunion back in July. And so I had just changed it so she could see it. But I don't know if she's seen my cousin since that time or not. But I had just changed it and wanted to make mention of that.
Oh, I see. It's very beautiful. Repping your family is always,
Yeah.
I know that's right, Greer, but it's nice to see you, and thanks so much for sharing.
Thank you. Thank you. As always, Alex.
No problem. Thank you. Any other, especially our newcomers that are on today, anyone would like assistance with adding a virtual background? Any Zoom questions before we end for today? Any questions, any comments? Again, I love the long weekend background. Oh wow, that blue city looks great. Love it. Okay. We have, excuse me, Mr. and Mrs. Jones. Meryl, did you want assistance with adding a background today? You got to hit unmute in the middle. Again, you got to hit unmute in the middle in order to unmute yourself, please. There you go. Hi there, ma'am. How's it going?
It's going great.
Good. Did you want assistance with adding a background today?
Yes, I
Okay,
want.
no problem. So I'm gonna have you share your screen. So do you mind hitting share content for me, please? Again, your toolbar is at the top, right?
Yes.
Okay, yep, hit share content.
Yes.
And then hit screen. So hit the very first option. It should say screen. And then hit start broadcast. And then you'll see it count down.
I hit.
Yep, again, hit start broadcast and then you'll see it count down.
Yep. Yes, I see it's.
There you go. Tap on the left or right hand side to get back to Zoom. So on the left or right hand side of the screen, tap the screen to get back to Zoom.
Okay, I tap.
No. So hit the left hand side or the right hand side. You're not tapping on Zoom. Tap on the left or right hand side on the screen to get back to Zoom.
It has Zoom on it.
No. Let the left or the right hand side, man. So anywhere, there you go. You see left or right hand side. So you're back at Zoom. So the first step that we're gonna do is go to Safari, remember? So do you remember how to get to Safari?
Can you?
Okay, so you have to go to another app. What button do you have to hit to go to another app? Because you're in Zoom, you don't wanna be in Zoom forever, right?
Right.
You
so
gotta
I have to go.
You gotta hit your home button to go to your home screen, remember? You have to hit your home button to go to your home screen. So no, you have to share your screen again, ma'am. You accidentally hit stop share. So can you go back to Zoom and share your screen again for me, please? Again, hit share content at the top. Yep, so again, hit share content at the top. And then tap on screen. And then tap on start broadcast. You'll see it count down. Okay, again, left or right hand side to get back to Zoom. Yep, hit your home button to go to your home screen. You know where your home button is at, right, ma'am?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, hit your home button to go to your home screen with all of your different apps.
It won't go.
So hit, so again, do you know where your home? Yeah, there you go. You got it. You got to make sure you hear it click. Yeah, you got it. Once you feel it click on your finger, that's, you got to make sure you keep that in mind. So now I want you to go to Safari for me, please.
Safari.
So remember, it's the compass looking icon. It's at the bottom of your screen. That's how you access the internet. Yes, this is this is Safari. This is how you access the internet. So, make sure to utilize it in case you need to research something. At the top right, that is the Zoom box. It has our logo in it. I want you to drag it to the right so you can minimize it for me, please. So you see at the top right, that's the Zoom box. Drag it to the right. There you go. Good job, ma'am. At the top in the middle, it says search or enter website name. Tap on that, again, like we did before. What kind of background would you like, ma'am? You can be anything. What kind of background would you like?
Fall something. Could I say fall background?
Anything you want. Go ahead and type it in, and then you can hit the go button on the right hand side. It's literally anything that you want. You can type in, just do fall. You can do background. That's fine. Remember at the top where all the different options are, you got to hit images to go to the different images. You see that, right? Towards the top, it says all the images. Good job. So look, those are all the fall backgrounds. Swipe up and tap on one that you would like to use. And swipe up and find one that you would like to use. And when you do, tap on it. Yeah. So you see it expanded on the right-hand side, right? So
Correct.
with your finger, I want you to hold the expanded image until you see that menu appear, and then you can let go. So you see on the left-hand side, you
Okay.
see it says save to photos, right? The
Correct.
third one, yeah, so hit save to photos. That's how you add the photo to your Photos app. Okay, good job. So again, it's going to be in your Photos app. You can always check that, of course, yourself, but we're just going to go back to Zoom so that way we can make sure we have it added in. So hit your home button to go back to your apps and then go back to Zoom. And you can hit your home button to go back to Zoom, or the home screen, and then go back to Zoom.
I'm hitting, sometimes it's slow.
I understand. So I just again, I can see your screen. So again, I see you're still on the Safari page. So yeah, there you go. Yeah, so go back to Zoom. And then which option do you hit if you want to add a background or effect? Your toolbars at the top. Which one do you tap on to go to backgrounds and effects?
Hit more.
Yes, ma'am. Good job. And then what do you got to do in that menu? So just, yeah, good.
Background
and
effect.
Yes, ma'am. Good job. So which button do you hit to add the
Plus.
background? Good.
Then
Tap on the one, and then hit done. And then I would turn off, I have a green screen. You see, I have a green screen is on. I would turn that option off. So just tap where it's that circle, that green circle. Yep. So that way, yeah, there you go. So it's more clear. So that's how you add a background. So you can add as many as you'd like. Okay, Ms. Jones?
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Good job. Again, just to take some practice. So I would try to add one, of course, either today or just throughout the weekend, try to add some other ones. You can have as many as you'd like, okay?
Okay.
All right, we'll tap the two arrows at the top left-hand side. That's how you get back to Zoom. And then at the top, you can stop sharing your screen. You can hit stop share at the top, that red button. Good job, Ms. Merrill, Ms. Jones, thank you so much. Let's all say good job and congrats to Ms. Jones for adding a virtual background.
Good job, Ms. Jones.
Good job, Ms. Jones.
Good job. Good job.
Thank you. Good job.
Nice picture.
Good job.
Yeah,
Good
thank you,
job.
Ms. Jones.
Good job. Good job.
Good job.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you all again for participating, and good job, Ms. Jones, for getting your background. And again, it's so simple, you know, once you just get the idea of switching between different apps to do different things. We needed to go to Safari to get that picture. We optionally needed to go to Photos and make sure that photo was in fact in the Photos app, but you know, we just you know, made sure we trusted that everything went well, which it did, because we went through these different steps, and just going to Zoom and adding it. So thank you all so much for coming on to our session today on Zoom. Again, module 6 is where we cover all about Zoom, how to add a virtual background, and what you can do when you are in a Zoom meeting. So again, thank you all so much for coming on. I'm going to start our poll for today. But again, once again, thank you so much for joining our session today.